Hey there, everybody. Welcome to our second America's Got Talent live show reaction. This was a weird show.
Yeah, it kind of felt like either people were even better than they ever were before, or people just really kind of dropped the ball.
I was very excited and also very bored within the section. Just within a few minutes. Like, I would see somebody, I was like, oh man, this is great. And then I would see somebody and be like, okay, this is going on a long time. When are we getting to the next person? Let's do this.
Yeah, I felt a lot of that too, where there was, I feel like it was going on a really long time.
We're going to get into everybody who performed. Before we do, though, if you like this video, give us a like, subscribe, hit that notification bell for more, and you can support us further by checking those links in the description to our store and also our Patreon, where we do live chats at the end of every month.
Okay, somebody who did not go on a long time that I absolutely loved was Kelvin Dukes. He sang one of my favorite songs, Valerie. He did a really cool, mix up of this song where it was a little faster, more pop, and he was so good. This song is so good, and he did such a good job. I really hope he goes through, but I'm nervous because he performed at the beginning of the show.
I'm mad. I'm not mad at Kelvin. I think Kelvin was great. He was probably one of my favorites of the night. But like you just said, he went first. People go first, get forgotten. He chose an upbeat song, and we know from many years of covering AGT, if you're not doing something that is slow and emotional, you get punished for it time and time again.
But it was perfect for him and his age. Like, it was just so good.
And he danced, and he moved around, and his energy. I loved everything about this. Don't screw me over, America's Got Talent. That is all I'm saying.
Okay, then we also had The Shape, who was someone that I actually didn't really remember. So I'll say this about The Shape. The thing that I liked about them was the fact that they incorporated masks into their performance. I thought that that was very clever. It was and I liked it a lot.
I like their style. I did think the masks were a fun inclusion. It's indicative of the times, but yeah, it's also making it into a part of the act.
Yeah.
The first part of it I thought was really, really good, and the technique never really wavered. Like, I think the technique was great throughout, but it did feel like that last 30 seconds or so that it was starting to go on just a little bit long, and there weren't enough, signature moves that were like, wow, this really justifies it going on this long.
Yeah, this was one of the acts that I felt like it was going on too long.
Cameron Ross was the third person to perform, and I was really excited about him going in because I liked his audition a lot, and I thought he was inspiring. He was just a very interesting guy, but this just didn't work for me. I just thought he was really out of tune at times during it. I don't think it was the right song. It didn't work. I didn't connect to it, and I just think there were so many better singers over the course of the show.
Yeah, this wasn't my favorite performance from him. I did like his audition a lot more. This didn't, for whatever reason, whether it was he was a little bit nervous or a little bit off tune, it wasn't the right song choice, something wasn't working out for him tonight.
We know he can be better. It's just, unfortunately, because we didn't really have judge cuts or anything else, we only have a couple of performances to go on, and this just wasn't the best.
Bad Salsa! Man, I love these two so much. I've been waiting and waiting for them to come back. They are so cute, and I love their performance because I really like danger acts, and I know we're talking about dancers here, but they have a danger element to this dance that makes me so excited and scared, and they're so entertaining.
I will do a simulation of my favorite part of it.
It's amazing, right?
Okay, the spinning. How did I would have been dead. It would not have been I wouldn't have been able to stand back up, let alone she was just fine. It was just, all right, I'm just gonna keep doing this now.
I don't know how they do what they do. It's incredible. If they don't go through, then I do not know what is going on.
Yeah, like I usually have like a really clear, distinct number one on the night, but I've got like 2 or 3 people who I think are really up there, and I got to think about it more. But they are up there. I think they're so good.
I love them so much.
I do too, and this is where the roller coaster of this episode comes into play. Because we were at kind of a dip with Cameron, then we go up with Bad Salsa, and then we go down again with Vincent Marcus. And I just feel like he didn't do anything really that new or different. It was just sort of, okay, I'm going to do the same impersonations I did the first time with the same sort of gimmick of nursery rhymes or children's rhymes and that sort of thing. And it was interesting the first time because it was a little bit more surprising. This time it fell flat for me. I didn't take anything away from it.
Yeah, I felt like I was watching the same audition over again because it was nursery rhymes again. And I think if you wanted to use the same impressions again, that's okay, but he can't do exactly the same thing again with nursery rhymes again. So, and that really sucks because I liked Vincent a lot and I was really excited to see him come back because I thought he was going to push it into sort of this next place, but it just didn't happen.
It also felt like his either his microphone was too low or he just didn't have enough confidence because it felt like he was really kind of quiet with some of his impressions. And if you're doing this act, you need to be big and you need to be loud. And
yeah.
there was something not working there.
Yeah.
All right. So now, are you ready for some puppy pals courtesy of Alexis?
Yeah, I was lukewarm on her audition. I was kind of like, okay, I've seen this stuff before. You know, we've had lots of dog acts. I've seen these things. This one I really liked. She showed me some stuff that I hadn't really seen before, like the doggy salmon ladder that was going on. I like that she incorporated herself more into the act with like the jump rope and the flag and the tumbling and stuff. I thought that was really good. She was great.
This was fun. I don't necessarily think that the dogs were perfect, but I don't think dogs don't need to be perfect for an act like this. I think Alexis got better as it went along because I think she started to open up more and show some of her personality. And when she started to get more and more into everything, I started to get more and more into everything. And the jumping of the hurdles was really, really impressive.
Yeah.
The dog kind of rolling the cylinder with the other dog on top of it. Like, there was fun stuff in here that I hadn't seen before in other dog acts.
Bonavega!
Here we go, everybody.
Okay, I know we're not exactly on the same page about this, but I love him. Like, and tonight he brought me back to like my teenage years as well, where it was all like 80s hair bands. Like the first concert I ever went to was Motley Crue, and they were all, you know, electric guitars and like spandex and looking exactly like this and great singing, all this rock and roll. I just love him. He was one of my favorites of the night.
Okay, I'm not gonna go that far.
How dare you?
I'm not gonna. This is not gonna be a repeat of Double Dragon from last week, where where one of us was up here and the other one was down here. I'm like right and somewhere in there.
He's just so fun.
He is fun, and I would be a hypocrite if I said that I did not enjoy stuff like this because I have spent a part of today already listening to both Boston and also Journey, so I do enjoy this style of music a lot. I think he's hurt by not having a live audience there, really, because there's no one that really can feed off of his energy. There's nobody he can sort of go back and forth with, but the guitar playing was really, really good.
So cool.
I thought that was great. The costume choice was good. His singing was pretty solid. It's not the best rock singing I've ever heard, but
it doesn't need to be. He's a whole act. He's got his singing, and his guitar, and his dancing, and his costumes. It's just, he's the entertainer.
Like, if you were gonna ask me, would I rather see Bonavega or like 60% of the acts that we've seen in the live shows? I will take Bonavega, at least because I know he's gonna be weird and crazy, and there is a soft spot in my heart for that.
And rock and roll.
And rock and roll. All right, so the Spyros Brothers are next, and I like this more than I did their first audition. I thought there was a lot of content they sort of jammed in here. Usually this sort of act, they just do a routine on stage. I kind of like we're going to threaten the lives of the judges now by going all around them and doing it actually incorporated danger into it. And once again, I'm not going to say it was necessarily perfect, but I like the idea of it, and I like what they did by and large.
I disagree.
Oh boy, all right.
I liked all the stuff that they were doing, especially the stuff that they were doing with it, like flying in the air and catching it, because that stuff looks really difficult, like really difficult. When they're getting close up to the judges and they're sort of throwing this thing in their face at high speeds, it does just take a second to make a mistake and really hurt somebody. And there is no sort of like the judges know that they're coming into a danger act that they are part of. It was making me really anxious watching that. And I'm not saying that, they're not good at what they do or anything like that, but things can happen. It can happen, right? And you could just take Heidi's head right off. Like, I totally get where she was coming from with that. I just felt, I felt like they were in danger because a second and you're in danger.
It's one of those acts where I think it's probably more fun watching it at home than being there. If it's like an inch in front of your face, I will concede that. But ultimately, I don't know if they're going to go through it or not, because acts like this rarely ever do. But here is where we have Daneliya Tuleshova, who we already knew, full disclosure, coming into America's Got Talent, and she is great.
Oh my God, she's so good.
This is a hard song, because Sign of the the actual Harry Styles version of this song is like 1,000,000 minutes long. It's a really long song. I was kind of worried that it wasn't going to work, but it totally did.
Oh, it really did. Her voice is just, it has such a maturity. It is so soulful. I love it. It feels like this song, especially this choice, was so good for her voice, because she does have this soft but powerfulness behind her voice that when she sings stuff like this, it feels like she's reaching into your heart and just like squeezing it. And I just loved it. I loved it. She's one of my favorites of the night, up there with like Bad Salsa. They're just amazing.
Yeah, one of my favorites too. She nailed the emotional sort of center of the song when they're doing the refrain, "We've got to get away." Like, she just hit it perfectly. It wasn't just Harry Styles' version, it was something great on its own.
Yeah, I loved her.
All right, now we go to Danger again with Jonathan Goodwin. This, to me, I think was it didn't blow my mind per se, but it entertained me thoroughly.
Yeah, I mean, I think I had a little bit of a hard time at the beginning of it, because he was like, this is so dangerous, I haven't even practiced it. I was just like, I just don't believe it. And it may even be that he may not have practiced the entire thing together, but I absolutely believe that he practiced the timing, practiced the lock picking, practice this stuff. I think because he tried to sell me that he never practiced it, I was just like, no, I don't believe you already, which sucked, because the act was great. I really liked it. There was danger in it, of course. You felt that sort of thrill as, the fire is going, and all of a sudden it sped up. Like, I could feel it off of Howie too, where he was like, because you could see that all of a sudden it was like, I was like, yeah, okay, this is pretty intense.
I think the only main problem I had with it was that the people were outside. It obviously was pre-taped on that measure. And if I'm watching an act like this pre-taped, obviously I know that nothing bad happened. So it kind of just takes me out of it. I think what he did was really, really good. But I just think the format really, really hurts him.
I'm okay with that, because I like danger acts that are in control of their danger, which is why last week when we had the Bello and Annalise said it just felt like it was out of control, and I don't want to watch somebody die. I want to watch danger acts controlling the danger, because that's really fascinating to me.
The final act of the night, Voices of Our City Choir. No surprise. I think this was emotional, well sung, powerful from start to finish. I think they're probably a lock to move forward.
Great song choice. I really like this.
Yeah, like it's pretty much exactly what you thought it would be, but the spoken word was great, the
Yeah, it was
vocal
great.
harmonies were great. I'm thrilled they got this together.
Yeah, me too. I really like them. I think they're a lot to go through.
It's going to be interesting tomorrow. We'll have our take on the results, which I'm sure we will have divided opinions about because we always do. But what did you guys think about America's Got Talent tonight? What were your favorite acts? Share in the comments, and if you like this video, give us a like, subscribe, and support us further by checking those links to the store, to our Patreon, and we'll see you here next time.